Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and today, honestly, I'm kind of excited for this match because not only are these two trainers from Season 1, but these two are two of the final 8 trainers from Season 1. Now, these two were on opposite ends of the bracket, so the only chance that they could have met up was at the grand finals. I'm talking about the Castle Valet Darach, and I'm talking about the Pokemon trainer Ryuki. And we can see from their teams, they're not holding anything back. Ryuki's got the Mega Drampa as his ace. Darach's got the Staraptor as his ace, as well as an Entei. Once these trainers are ready, we can see who's going to be taking game number 1 and starting off this match 17 well. Darach starts off with Staraptor and Empoleon. Ryuki starts off with Turtonator and Kommo-o. Getting rid of Turtonator's White Herb immediately with that Intimidate. Staraptor intimidating again thanks to that Mega Stone. Brave Bird takes out the Kommo-o. Turtonator goes for Shell Smash, and Scald does 88% to Turtonator. Ryuki's gonna send out the Silvally, which is a Dragon type. Empoleon goes Terra Fighting. Vacuum Wave takes out the Turtonator. Brave Bird does 2/3 to Silvally as it goes for a Swords Dance. Ryuki sends out the Dragonite now. Very tanky Pokemon with that multi-scale. Extreme Speed does 1/3 to Staraptor. Brave Bird does 1/3 to Dragonite. Flame Charge does take out that Staraptor and gives Silvally a speed boost. Ice Beam takes out the Dragonite. It's now a 5v3 in just 3 turns. Darach sends out the Gothitelle. Ryuki sends out the Mega Drampa, setting up the rain with its Drizzle ability. Gothitelle with the Fake Out plus Vacuum Wave, leaving Silvally at 6%. Hurricane doing 62% to Empoleon. Vacuum Wave finishes off Silvally. Psychic does 24% to Drampa, and Empoleon is knocked out by that Hurricane. Ryuki sends out the Garchomp as his last Pokemon. Darach sends out the Metagross. This is probably one of the most fast-paced games we've had. I mean, just with how fast Pokemon are being knocked out, left and right. Garchomp goes for the Swords Dance. Hammer Arm nearly takes out the Drampa. Psychic takes Garchomp down to below 3/4. Hyper Voice does 1/3 to Gothitelle, under 1/4 to Metagross. Switching out the Gothitelle to Musharna as Metagross goes for Protect. Iron Head does under half to Musharna, and Musharna's left at 21% from that Hyper Voice and those leftovers. Musharna going for Protect. Iron Head doing a critical hit, 29%. Hyper Voice doing 23% to Metagross and flinching from that Iron Head. Iron Head leaves Metagross at 5%. Hyper Voice finishes off both of Ryuki's Pokemon, and it's down to Entei and Gothitelle. There's no more rain on the field. I just noticed. Fake Out doing 5.9. Extreme Speed taking out the Drampa. And Garchomp is flinched from that Fake Out. Earthquake does take out both of Darach's Pokemon. And Ryuki, with 1 Pokemon remaining, takes game number 1. What an insane match. We didn't see anything from the Kommo-o. We know the Turtonator had the White Herb. We did see a bit from that Drampa. We saw the Drizzle plus the Hurricane combo. And then from Darach, we saw the double Intimidate Mega Staraptor. which is just evil, and then the Terra-fighting Empoleon. And we are back on the field for game number 2, and already looking at this, we've got a few new additions to both sides. From Ryuki's side, we can see the Haxorus and the Druddigon added on to his team, as well as the Kommo-o now being Ryuki's ace. On Darach's side, we can see the Reuniclus and the Gallade being on his team, as that Metagross is the ace for his team. Once these trainers are ready, we can see if Darach's going to be able to pull a game 2 or if Ryuki's taken match 17. We've got the Mega Drampa and Haxorus leading for Ryuki, Musharna and Reuniclus leading for Darach. First impression doing 85% and Hyper Voice finishing off that Reuniclus as Musharna sets up the Trick Room. DeltaTDS replacing that Reuniclus. Faking out the Drampa, Dazzling Gleam is going to do 32% to Drampa, 57% to Haxorus, Dragon Claw doing 52% to DeltaTDS as it eats that Citrus Berry, raising it up to 73%. Dazzling Gleam's going to take out the Haxorus and leave Drampa with a third of his HP. Hyper Voice doing quite a bit to both of Darach's Pokemon, and Drampa is left at 9% HP. Ryuki's going to send out the Druddigon now, a Pokemon that's not common in this tournament. Drampa faints from the Dazzling Gleam. Psychic leaves Druddigon on a quarter of its health, as Rock Slide takes out the Musharna and leaves DeltaTDS on 2%. There's one turn of Trick Room left as Metagross and Kommo-o are both sent out. It's 4v4. DeltaTDS going for the Protect. Rock Climb doing 19% to Metagross as Psychic Fangs takes out the Kommo-o and Trick Room does end. Ryuki sends out the Turtonator. This time, not going to lose its White Herb to an Intimidate. Switching out the DeltaTDS to Empoleon and Terra fighting the Metagross as Turtonator goes for Shell Smash, restores the drops with the White Herb. Psychic Fangs does take out the Druddigon, and Ryuki sends out his last Pokemon, that Garchomp. Garchomp was a threat to Darach's team last game, and it could still be a threat to his team this game. Metagross going for Protect, Fire Blast doing 59%, Iron Head doing 7% to Empoleon. Ice Beam takes out the Garchomp immediately, not letting it do another Earthquake again. And it's all left to this Turtonator. Vacuum Wave does 22%, Fire Blast takes out the Empoleon, Psychic Fangs does 56%, and Darach's going to send out the Gallade now. Gallade's going to Mega Evolve, Psycho Cut takes out the Turtonator, and Darach takes game number 2 with 3 Pokemon remaining, meaning we are going to a game number 3. We didn't see anything from that Kommo-o, I think again. We saw the first impression from the Haxorus. We didn't see as much from that Drampa this game. And then from Darach's side, we see the Mega Gallade. We saw the Terra fighting Metagross. We saw the Citrus Berry on the DeltaTDS. And I believe that's it. We are back on the field for game number 3. We've got Ryuki still with that Mega Drampa. And with the Flygon now. As for Darach, we can see the Houndoom on his team, and Gallade is his ace now. Once these trainers are ready, we can see who's going to take game number 3 and move on to round 2. Starting off with the Staraptor and the DeltaTDS, Ryuki sends out the Kommo-o and the Haxorus, immediately intimidating Ryuki's Pokemon. Faking out the Haxorus. Brave Bird's gonna take out the Komo-o for a third game. Poor guy's not getting to do anything. And Ryuki's gonna send out the Flygon, the Pokemon we haven't seen from him at all this match. Gothitel's going for Protect, blocking that first impression. Return's gonna do 3/4 to Flygon as Haxorus goes for a Dragon Dance, nullifying that attack drop while raising its speed up. Dragon Claw's gonna take out the Staraptor. Rock Slide is going to do 1/4 to Gothitelle and flinch it. An unfortunate flinch for Darach as Darach sends out the Entei to replace that Staraptor. I don't recall seeing Entei do much from game 1. Entei's going to go into the Terra Ground, taking 2/3 from that Dragon Claw and 9% from that Rock Slide. Sacred Fire is going to miss the Haxorus. Gothitel's flinched. Extreme Speed takes out the Flygon, revealing Entei has the Life Orb. Dragon Claw takes out the Entei. Psychic does just about half to Haxorus. And it's currently 4v4 as Ryuki sends out the Mega Drampa and Darach sends out the Empoleon. Vacuum Wave doing 1/4 to Drampa. Dragon Claw not quite knocking out the Gothitelle as Haxorus faints from that Psychic. Thunder doing 65% to Empoleon. And Ryuki's gonna send out the Turtonator. There are 4 turns of rain remaining. Turtonator going for the Shell Smash. Psychic's doing just under half to Turtonator. Ice Beam doing 52% to Drampa. Hyper Voice does take out that Gothitelle. And Darach sends out the Gallade. Gallade's gonna Mega Evolve. Vacuum Wave takes out the Drampa. Close Combat takes out the Turtonator. And it's all down to Ryuki's Garchomp here. Can it pull another win just like it did in game 1? Only time will tell. Probably not, because Gallade's the GOAT. Close Combat takes out the Terra Steel Garchomp. And Darach takes game number 3, which means he is our final 8 trainer to move on to round 2. Where he will be going up against the instructor Rayfort, I don't know how to say that name. One of the instructors from Paldea. But thank you so much for watching, and join us tomorrow where we'll be seeing the Team Galactic Commander Mars going up against the Paldea Gym Leader Iono. And until then, take care.